What if I told you the most fearless leader in Africa today isn't a king, a billionaire, or an old war hero, but a barefoot boy from a forgotten village? A boy who stood up when the whole world knelt, and dared to tell global powers, enough. Africa will no longer bow. This is the story of Ibrahim Traoré, the young soldier who shook the system and woke up a continent. Early life. Humble beginnings. In a small village tucked within the dusty plains of western Burkina Faso, a boy was born, not into wealth, not into fame, but into resilience. Ibrahim Traoré came into the world surrounded by tradition, simplicity, and struggle. His family had little, yet they carried a quiet pride. His mother's hands were hardened by work, his father's words were few but wise. There were no silver spoons, no grand promises, only the sun above, the land below, and a fire within. As a child, he ran barefoot across earth cracked by heat, but he never saw poverty as defeat. He saw strength in his community, dignity in hardship, and possibility in every rising sun. 2. Education and military training. From an early age, Ibrahim's brilliance shone like a quiet flame. He studied hard, not to escape his roots, but to understand them. He chose geology, a science of the earth, as if to better understand the land that raised him. But the deeper he studied, the more he saw the fractures, not in rock, but in society. Burkina Faso was rich in resources, yet its people remained poor. It wasn't just the soil that was being mined, it was the nation's soul. So, Ibrahim took a different path. He joined the military, not for medals, but for meaning. He trained with discipline, led with humility, and earned the respect of his peers, not by demanding it, but by embodying it. 3. Burkina Faso, a country in crisis. By the early 2020s, Burkina Faso was unraveling. Terrorist groups destabilized entire regions. Foreign interests drained national wealth. And political leaders grew more detached from the people they were supposed to serve. Villages were abandoned. Schools turned into battlegrounds. Farmers became refugees. The cries of the people echoed across a country forgotten by its own government. Hope was fading fast. 4. The turning point, becoming a leader. In September 2022, everything changed. As the nation stood on the edge of collapse, Ibrahim Traoré stepped forward, not as a politician, but as a patriot. At just 34 years old, he led a military coup, not to seize power for himself, but to return it to the people. No lavish speech, no promises of glory, just a soldier in uniform saying, "We will not surrender our country to chaos." The world watched in disbelief. Burkina Faso, once a whisper in the global news cycle, was now roaring through its youngest leader. He didn't arrive in limousines. He arrived with purpose. 5. Challenging the criticism. Critics came quickly. Foreign powers accused him of extremism. Media outlets called him unpredictable. But Traoré never bent. He refused French military presence. He rejected exploitative deals. He demanded African sovereignty, not just in speeches, but in action. And while the outside world judged him, the people of Burkina Faso stood taller. Because for the first time in decades, someone was actually listening. 6. His vision and promises. Ibrahim Traoré's vision is bold, rooted not in fantasy, but in truth. He dreams of an Africa that stands on its own. He believes in local agriculture, national ownership of resources, and regional unity free from neo-colonial influence. He's called for the empowerment of youth, for the protection of cultural identity, for leaders to live simply, just like the people they serve. He made a promise. As long as I breathe, I will not sell this country's future. And so far, he's kept it. 7. Legacy and hope. Whether he leads for 5 years or 50, Ibrahim Traoré has already written himself into the hearts of millions. He has redefined what leadership can look like in Africa. Not a suit in an air-conditioned palace, but a young man in boots, walking beside villagers, sleeping with soldiers, and refusing luxury until his people are free. Children in Burkina Faso now know the name of a leader who looks like them, speaks like them, and fights for them. He has ignited hope, not just in one nation, but across a continent. 8. Outro, a call to action. This is not just the story of Ibrahim Traoré. It's a reminder to every young soul watching from anywhere in the world. You don't need permission to lead. You don't need wealth to make a difference. You just need courage to stand when others fall. So look to Burkina Faso. Look to the boy who rose from red earth. And remember that from the humblest beginnings, legends can rise. Ibrahim Traoré didn't ask to be remembered. He just refused to be forgotten. From the dirt roads of Burkina Faso to the global stage, his message is loud and clear. You don't need permission to lead. You just need purpose. If one young man can challenge empires, what's stopping you from changing your world? Share his story, because somewhere out there, another Ibrahim is waiting to rise.